unpack that baggage. So I wanted to explain to you something really insightful that shows how our past is affecting our lives and our happiness and functionality and living our lives to the fullest. And that is called the Reticular Activating System. This is a part of our brain that decides what's important. So we have this stream of consciousness and an enormous amount of sensory information, just the sensory information from our five senses coming in. And then we have, then our cognitive brain kicks in and has to filter all of that's coming at us and decide what's relevant, what's important. And how does it do that? So the Reticular Activating System very much relies on the amygdala to do that. Surprisingly, it's not all prefrontal cortex, so it's not all our rational judgment. We'd like to think it is, but even more so than our rational judgment deciding what's important and relevant for us to let in is our subconscious emotional memories and imprints. And a lot of that is in the amygdala. And you may know the amygdala are their two little organs in the midbrain. And those are associated with our fight, flight, or flee response to trauma or some overwhelming event or experience in our lives. And so when those experiences are imprinted on the amygdala will record in great detail and in great specificity the details surrounding that event or experience, from sensory details to other emotional past experiences before that experience that seem similar in some way. It's incredibly detailed. So what we do in EFT is we break down every single specific issue or detail that's associated with the issue or with the emotion or with the event or memory or traumatic experience that we're working on, so that we can calm down those neural pathways and reduce the intensity of that imprint to the goal is to a normal level. Sometimes in one session we can only reduce it. We don't completely eliminate the traumatic imprint, but we can definitely diminish it to a more tolerable level where it isn't interfering. So then when your amygdala talks to your reticular activating system, your judgment, so the prefrontal cortex is more to do with rational judgment, like actually rationally deciding like, oh, this is an important thing for me to pay attention to. So the subconscious fears, the subconscious associations with past pain and trauma is talking to that reticular activating system. And the more we can calm that down, the more your rational judgment part of your brain is able to talk to that reticular activating system and say, that actually isn't scary. I can do that. You can use your rational brain to say, this is not like that past experience. This is different. Just because it has a tiny little similar aspect doesn't mean it's going to go down in flames like that other time. And if you don't calm down that amygdala, we have the tendency to associate any little similarity and just just make that expand that to just extrapolate is the word. We tend to extrapolate. So if there's one small aspect that the amygdala is signaling, and this is all at the subconscious level, it's pretty rare to recognize this. I mean, you can train yourself to recognize these signals more, and that's a wonderful thing to do. You can get a lot of insight on your thinking and behavior if you can do that. But typically, these signals from the amygdala are very, very subconscious, and it happens so quickly that in milliseconds, and you don't even perceive it. You just have this like, whoa, I'm not going there. I'm not paying attention to that, or I'm paying hyper attention to that, and I'm going to avoid it. or I'm going to attack it, or whatever it is. So once we calm that down, it allows the reticular activating system to depend more on our rational judgment. And our rational judgment may find that that is too risky of a prospect, or that is a dangerous, idea, or something that I want to withdraw. So it's all about withdraw or approach. Do I approach this or do I withdraw? What we're attracted to, what we let in, what we pursue, or what we avoid. And so we really want to take control of that dynamic and make it work in our favor as much as possible, because it's happening no matter what. It's going on in the background of our lives. So we can program ourselves to optimize that reticular activating system dynamic and really have the highest functioning possible. And EFT is a wonderful way to make that happen, because we are able to then pay attention to the things that align with our goals and align with our heart, and the things that really get us to where we want to be, and the things that we want to be close to. So we're not sabotaging ourselves, or we're not just too afraid to go for what we really want in our lives, whether that is relationships or career or just personal growth. And so this has just been one of the most amazing gifts of EFT, to be able to influence that and influence how you're able to really function and live optimally with your reticular activating system. We all have it. It's at work. It's deciding how we filter all the information. That's why once you see something that scares you, you see it everywhere, right? You see it. If you're looking for it, you'll see it. That's the reticular activating system. So just a little insight there. Tell me your thoughts. Have you noticed this? What have you noticed, and how has this played out in your life?